Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. I, 25 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27 male. Let's call him Mike, for a while now. Last year, he decided to pursue a part-time MSc program which was supposed to last for 2 years. At first, everything seemed fine. Mike contributed to our expenses and helped around the house. He was very supportive. I was proud of him for taking on this educational endeavor while holding down a job. But then, things started to change. After a few months into the program, Mike began complaining about the workload and how he couldn't balance it with his job. So he decided to quit his job to focus on his studies and finish his MSc soon. He said he had enough savings to support himself for a while, so I had no reason to disagree. Gradually, his savings dwindled, and I had to take on the financial burden of our lives. I didn't mind helping out initially, understanding that he needed time to concentrate on his studies. Moreover, I earned a pretty good amount too. I continued working full-time but was now responsible for all the household expenses and chores. It was overwhelming, especially when combined with my workload, but then I didn't see it as an alarm because I thought he would be done soon and would help balance things out again. One day, while using Mike's laptop, I stumbled upon his MSc exam results sheet. While scrolling through the document, I noticed an NA before his name for one of the exams. So I confronted him. He hesitated before finally admitting that he had dropped out of the MSc program a while ago because he had been struggling with the course and felt overwhelmed. I was shocked and hurt that he hadn't been honest with me. I was furious because he kept such a big thing secret and continued fooling me around. So I asked him why he didn't go for a job knowing how worn out I was, taking care of all the expenses and how tedious it was combining everything with my job. Guys, you know what he told me? He said he didn't plan to get a job anytime soon because he saw me as his investment. In this case, he meant he had spent enough on me, so now that I was working and making money, he could rely on me to be his lifelong provider, so I should stop acting out. His words only upset me the most. I told him I wasn't against supporting each other during difficult times, but he needed to contribute too. It wasn't fair for him to depend solely on me, especially when he had decided to quit his job and drop out of school without discussing it with me first. Mike argued that he had spent a lot in our relationship as well. He pointed out that he had bought most of the furniture in our apartment. Meanwhile, they were all hand-me-downs from his parents. I appreciate the gesture, but I don't see how that equated to financial responsibility in our current situation. I want him to get a job and contribute to our finances and the household chores, just like we had agreed on at the beginning of our relationship. I understand he went through a tough time, but I can't be the sole provider forever. I want us to be equal partners, supporting and helping each other. But he thinks I'm being unreasonable and selfish for asking him to take up a job and contribute. He even had the guts to ask me, who else would I spend my money on if not him? It is worth mentioning that both of my parents passed away 2 years ago, but now it's just me in this world. I told him the fact that it's just both of us doesn't mean he should rely on me for everything. Guys, it's my money he sends home to his parents too, buy them gifts and all that. So they all think their son is wealthy and is the one spending on me all along, but the truth is I'm the one taking care of him. So am I the a-hole for expecting my boyfriend to get a job and contribute after he quit his MSc and made me the sole provider? Update. Hello guys, thanks a lot for your support. It helped me stand firm and make a decision for myself. After my initial post, not only did Mike refuse to attempt to get a job, he just sat at home all day playing games or partying with his friends in our house. So a few days ago, I gathered courage and told him we should end this because I've had enough of him. But guys, it didn't get down well with Mike. He threatened to end his life to guilt trip me into staying to prevent me from breaking up with him. So I did what anyone in my situation would do. I called the police on him. Luckily, they arrived on time before he could do anything stupid. But his mom called me the other time, hoping I could think things through because Mike wasn't in a good place. But I told her to try sending him to the psychiatric hospital as I had no solution. I blocked her immediately after the call because I deserve peace of mind. Once again, thank you all for your care and support. I owe you guys my happiness. You're not the a-hole, OP. I'm glad you decided to leave and remove yourself from this toxic situation. Mike is an a-hole. Not only did he drop out without telling you, but he also felt like he was right in everything he was doing. He's entitled to your money, your time, and everything because, well, he's your boyfriend. Thank heavens you found out he had dropped out. If not, he would have continued to use and use you until you were drained and empty. You deserve so much better, not to be someone's life support while doing absolutely nothing, just because that's what he wants to do. Story 2. My sister-in-law and her husband recently had their 10th anniversary and everyone acts like they are this perfect couple. He is 22 years older than her and she married him for a meal ticket and because she was in crazy amounts of credit card debt. She used to talk so much shit about him behind his back. She would come over and say the meanest things to her brother and they would laugh at brother-in-law behind his back. Brother-in-law treated her like a combination of a maid and sex toy and was kind of controlling. About a year into it, things began to change. He was less of an ass, she stopped making fun of him, and now they claim they are in love. Still, you can't deny that she likes his money. My daughter thinks sister-in-law is like a legitimate princess and worships the ground she walks on. Sister-in-law mentioned they are going on vacation for their anniversary, flying because they don't give a shit about the pandemic. And my daughter was asking if she was too at the wedding. Did she go? And they showed her a picture of her as a flower girl. My daughter then asked something about, is love at first sight real? And brother-in-law said yes, I loved her the night I met her. That concerned me, so when we were alone, I told him that she married him entirely for his money. Brother-in-law said that I'm an idiot and he was just trying to make a nice story for my daughter. You are the a-hole, OP. It seems like you're irked that your young daughter idealizes her aunt. She's a kid. She will understand nuances more when she's older. But no, you acted on your jealousy of her admiration for her sister-in-law by saying something spiteful to sister-in-law's husband. He's right, you presumed too much. He married her for a trophy wife, she married him for money. But over the years they have developed a genuine affection for one another and have shared materialistic values. Now for some comments. You are the a-hole. The time to tell him was years ago when she would shit-talk behind his back. You don't care about him. If you did, then you would have told him then itself. It sounds like you're jealous of the high opinion your daughter has of your sister and are trying to stir shit because of it. Their marriage is none of your business. Stay out of it. You are the a-hole. That was an unnecessary and impolite comment to make to your brother-in-law. Also, you seem extraordinarily resentful of this couple, and I don't know why that is. I can see how listening to your sister-in-law down-talk her husband would be irritating, but in the end, their relationship has nothing to do with your life. If it's a total sham, they'll go down in flames, eventually. If they have really grown in their affection and regard for one another, then let them have their own marriage, regardless of how the relationship started. You are the a-hole. They had a transactional relationship. She wanted money, he wanted sex, and they didn't particularly like each other. But it didn't bother you, so you said nothing. At some point, they probably stopped using and actually got to know each other. Their love and companionship is most likely genuine, even if how they got there isn't the stuff of fairy tales. But for some reason, their happiness makes you extremely jealous. Is it because they have love and money, or that you don't believe they deserve to be happy? You really should just stop thinking about relationships that don't really have anything to do with you. Story 3. I've always wanted to write books for a living. The older I got, however, the more I realized it couldn't be a full-time job. Not until I got a few books published anyways. So while I majored in English and have always kept writing, I got a full-time job teaching. I love what I do and try to find time to write when I can. My parents are incredibly supportive, but think getting published is easy. They think that I can just write in a Starbucks and become J.K. Rowling overnight. I've explained that success on your first book like that is rare, and there is a reason why people like her make the news. They say I should just try harder. If it's that easy. I've tried to explain myself and ask them to please back off, but they persist. It can be annoying and digs at my creative process. At brunch last week, they started again, telling me it's been 2 years since I graduated. Where is my best-selling book? I try to explain it to them again. I'm working on it, but even when I start the publishing process, it's going to take a while and I'll probably still have to teach. They wouldn't listen. Here's where I might be the a-hole. On Tuesdays, I get done early. I decided to call my mom and say, "Hey, get my old room ready. I quit my job and I'm coming home." She was confused and I said, "Well, this way I can focus 100% on writing my best-selling novel. I can't pay rent without my job though, so I'll have to give up my apartment, probably my car." She started freaking out, saying she never told me to do that. She was begging me to go get my job back. I let her squirm for an hour and called her back saying it wasn't real. I asked how it felt to be hit with the reality of what would happen if I only focused on writing right now. She called me a bitch and said that I had no right to scare her like that. I did apologize, but both of them say it was too far. Am I the a-hole? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole, though in my opinion it would have been better for you just to tell your mom what it would entail. I would have to quit my job, move in with you, probably give up the car, etc. Rather than claiming you already had. Yeah, they're being serious nags and needed a reality check, but you could probably have accomplished that without freaking your mom out so badly. Not the a-hole. I'm literally in the same exact situation as you. 2 years out of school with an English degree, my dad thinks I'll write a novel we can all retire off of. He would love for me to quit my job and live with him while I write. I value my independence and privacy too much to do so. We should be sitting in Starbucks for a few hours a week writing though. If they see it in us, it's probably there.